Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week we bring you things from across the country to talk about right here in your neighborhood. And on this week's show, we got this.
And there are a lot of fails along the way. You know, you don't always win.
Yeah, that's pretty much all my entire life right there. Brandi,
Truly feeling isolated and feeling unsupported, right? We are the backbone of our care economy, yet we feel so invisible.
Dan, go get a friend. Find a friend and go on a run.
I'll try.
You got this one. I believe in you.
Great. I hate getting called out like this every single time. All of that and more right here on New Mexico Rising. Summer gets busy fast, and you know, let's be honest, when life picks up, workouts are usually the first thing to go, but it doesn't have to be that way. So joining us today is Alexa Lee, TV host, lifestyle expert, former college athlete, and someone who lives this stuff pretty much every single day. She's got tips for keeping your fitness fun, your food simple, and your routine on track, even when summer is in full swing. Welcome to the show, Alexa. How are you?
Hi, Dan. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. I'm happy to be here.
All right, when your schedule gets packed like it does in the summer, how do you personally stay motivated to move? Because I need motivation to even just get out of bed.
Look, Dan, I get it. And the schedule change is already throwing me off as a busy single mom. I promise you, I am with you on that one. But I am a soccer player. I was a runner my whole life. So I do love sharing fitness advice, and I definitely have some for you today. I would say that my top tip is to find a friend to share that fitness journey with. Consider a gym membership or something that gets you off the couch and encourages those lifestyle changes. Dan, you don't have to do it alone. That's my message for you today.
But what if you're like me and have no friends?
Dan, come to Atlanta. I'll go on a run with you. But you got to make the plane trip.
All right. For someone trying to start fresh or get back into a routine, like what's a good first step?
Yeah, so I would say the first step is to just get moving, right? We put a lot of weight on our shoulders and we think we have to do these big things, and that's when our goals come crushing down. So take that first step and simply get moving. And the best way to do that is to find a welcoming community like Planet Fitness. Right now, Planet Fitness High School Summer Pass program is back, inviting high school teens ages 14 to 19 to work out and get stronger together. The annual initiative offers teens the opportunity to work out at any of their 2,700 plus locations across the United States and Canada. Dan, this is all for free from now until August 31st. So to sign up, teens can visit their local club or register online at planetfitness.com/summerpass. And mom and dad, if you are watching, I definitely invite you to take advantage of this opportunity and work out with your teen. They finally got their devices down. They're in the gym. So go join the fun.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Let's talk food. Do you have any go-to nutrition tips that are pretty realistic for summer?
Well, yes, right? It's all got to be realistic or I'm not doing it. Well, so I would say whether it's a backyard barbecue, a breezy lunch, or even a quick dinner, I definitely recommend you to check out these beauties in front of me. Okay, this is new Fresh Express chopped salad kits. They bring chef-level bold flavors and fresh vibes all summer long. No preparation is needed. I like to say express yourself with Fresh Express because with crunchy toppings, vibrant veggies, and bold dressings, these kits turn everyday meals into craveable summer moments. From creamy goddess for lunch, orange sesame at the cookout, or farmhouse ranch for an easy dinner. Staying fresh, fueled, and full of flavor has never been easier.
All right, what's something like fun or surprising you recommend that makes fitness feel kind of less like a chore?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got something that is going to make everyone around you feel better after all the activity you're doing this summer, and that's smelling fresh, right? Because the kids are at camps, we're gardening, we're all over the place, we're getting hot and stinky this summer, right? So we've got to stay fresh, and the only way we're going to do that is to get a high-quality laundry detergent. So I recommend Swash Laundry Detergent from Whirlpool Corporation. It's squeezing some sense into the laundry category with an ultra-concentrated solution that streamlines the experience. The innovative auto stop top gives you the perfect amount of detergent each time, so there's no mess and no guess. It comes in 3 scents. including an unscented version. So Dan, you can just pick this up at Walmart or go to walmart.com.
All right, are we missing anything else, or where can we go for more information or learn more about you?
Yeah, I would just say to set some goals this summer, right? They don't have to be too big. Make sure they're observable and measurable. Tell your friends and family so they can support you. Get out and have some fun and keep moving. For more information on everything that I talked about, you can just go to tipsontv.com.
Alexa, thanks for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Have a happy and healthy summer. And Dan, go get a friend. Find a friend and go on a run.
I'll try.
You got this one. I believe in you.
Great. I hate getting called out like this every single time. Dang it.
What do you get when you pit IndyCar driver Scott McLaughlin against pro golfer Jake Knapp for a driving competition set against the backdrop of the iconic Indianapolis Motor Speedway? Let's take a look.
Held at the Brickyard Crossing Golf Course, McLaughlin and Knapp teed off a new promotion by Pennzoil and PXG.
I had a blast. It was great meeting Scott. I honestly didn't expect him to be that good of a golfer. I thought it was pretty impressive what he was able to do. To collab with Jake and PXG and come out here and see a pro golfer, I'm a massive golf fan. So to see that is really cool. And Pennzoil with their Long May We Drive campaign, it's just such a cool fit. And to be a part of that has been great.
Giving you a chance to end up in the winner's circle. The promotion runs from May 29th to June 25th with the purchase of a Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic Bundle at a participating Advance Auto Parts or CarQuest retail location, in-store or online. You can enter to win a limited edition Pennzoil PXG Golf Driver. In the end, it was Knapp who scored better in the two-event competition, but the real winner will be the fans who take home that sweet, one-of-a-kind driver.
A new documentary called Caregiving is now streaming on PBS, and it tells powerful stories about people caring for their loved ones, including actor Bradley Cooper's own journey. We're joined by Jessica Guthrie, a family caregiver featured in the film, and Deborah Barrett, who helped bring this project to life through Otska. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Deborah, can you tell us what caregiving is, what it's all about, and why Otska wanted to support it?
Yes, Otska is a healthcare company, and caregivers and caregiving is an essential component of our healthcare system. Caregivers play a really important role in the health journey of their loved ones, and also oftentimes a critical determinant in health outcomes. So there is a real need here and importance and impact to caregiving in our healthcare system. We're also at a moment in time where we're looking at a caregiving crisis. Last week, Columbia University put out a report that looked across the states and said nearly half of our states are on the precipice of a caregiving crisis that needs to be addressed urgently. So our interest was in having a film like this to raise awareness, catalyze conversation, and hopefully encourage some action.
And Jessica, you've been caring for your mom for 10 years. What made you decide to share your story in this documentary?
So my mom was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's disease at the age of 66, and I was 26. So I'm a young millennial caregiver starting my career. And frankly, when this happened, my mom was diagnosed with dementia, and my peers weren't talking about dementia, right? And so I wanted to start sharing my story publicly to elevate the realities of family caregiving. And so the opportunity came to share my story in the film, and I'm so excited because I want for people to get real life insight into the burdens that we carry, the realities of our day-to-day, to increase awareness, increase empathy, increase understanding so that people can truly support family caregivers better.
And Deborah, how can companies do more to help employees who are caregivers?
Corporate leaders have a really important role to play. I mean, much in the same way that employers are taking care of the health and well-being of their employees through benefits, through paid time off, through training and assistance and education and just a network. I'm proud to work for a company, Otska, that offers paid time off as a caregiver benefit and a navigation program that offers lots of information and care for employees that are caregivers. Would love to see that across places of in places of employment across the country. I would also make a pitch for corporate leaders being advocates alongside caregivers like Jessica. with policymakers to try to drive the kinds of policies that are going to provide support and fill the gaps that we see that are leading to a kind of a crisis situation.
And Jessica, what are the hardest parts of being a caregiver, especially when you're doing it full time?
Yes. I think the first thing that I'll say is just the cost of care. Care is expensive. The cost of care is astronomical, right? Especially when you're trying to work full time, provide for yourself and your family, and provide the best care for your loved one. I think the second challenge is honestly training and education, right? I feel like I deserve an honorary nursing degree, right? Because we are doing critical care at home, yet family caregivers are not equipped and trained to do that well and with confidence. I think the third thing is honestly truly feeling isolated and feeling unsupported, right? We are the backbone of our care economy, yet we feel so invisible, right? And so the challenge of people not understanding, people not showing up, and people really not recognizing the power and the weight of what we carry as family caregivers.
And where can people go to watch the film or learn more?
So the film is currently streaming right now on pbs.org and on the PBS app. We're looking forward to a June 24th premiere on PBS. And I would also direct folks to our website, OTSUKA, OTSUKA-US.com/caregiver for more resources, information, and a link to the film.
Well, thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
NF1-PN is a rare disease that affects thousands of people across the country, causing nerve tumors, chronic pain, and serious physical challenges. Joining us today are Dr. Angela Herbie, a specialist in rare genetic disorders, and Austin Fields, who's been living with NF1-PN and now helps others by sharing his story. Welcome to you both.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Dr. Herbie, can you tell us what NF1-PN is and how it shows up in someone's life?
Yeah, of course. First of all, thanks so much for having us here today. We're excited to partner with SpringWorks Therapeutics to try to bring more attention to neurofibromatosis type 1 plexiform neurofibromas, or NF1-PN. So NF1 is a genetic condition. So it's actually the most common inherited tumor predisposition syndrome. It affects about 1 in 500 people. So that's about 120,000 people in the United States. And then half of those patients will develop plexiform neurofibromas, or PNs. And these are large tumors that involve multiple nerve roots. They can happen anywhere in the body. And patients often have significant pain because of these tumors. They can also be very disfiguring. And then depending on the location, they can even cause organ damage.
And Austin, how has living with this condition impacted you and your family?
Yeah, so I was diagnosed at a very young age, and even at a young age, shortly after diagnosed, we found out that my tumor in the lower left flank of my back was growing into my spine, and they had to remove part of it. They couldn't remove it all without paralyzing me. So the portion they removed was actually the size of a foam football. And unfortunately, later that year, it was growing back into my spine. So they removed another portion that was the size of a golf ball. That was the same year or time frame to where, kids are trying to learn how to swim, ride a bike, and stuff like that. So I was pretty much bedridden during that time. And I was not able to do a lot of activities kids my age were to do even later on. So I was a little delayed on learning a lot of things, or my ability to do things were lesser than everybody throughout my entire life, childhood, and now even more towards teenage and adulthood. When I got older, I was really wanting to go into the military. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that with my tumors. I tried to go out and do a career in law enforcement, but I wasn't able to progress my career because of my tumors. Later on, I ended up finding a clinical trial that was able to help me a lot. It shrank my tumor 57% in the first year. So that helped me a lot. It made me in a lot less pain and let me do a lot more things I enjoy to do. I'm an Eagle Scout, so I love to do anything outdoors, camping, hiking, fishing, hunting, and it allowed me to do those things for a lot more extended period of time than I used to be able to do.
And how are you feeling today? And what made a difference in your care?
Yeah, today I'm feeling a lot better than I used to. What made a difference in career was the shrinking of that tumor. It just gave me, you know, it gave me the opportunity to feel less pain. It gave me the opportunity to move and do more things. I am now a pastor, and I'm able to talk and help other people more. And it also allows me to advocate and help other people just with my life experience with severe pain and the issues I've had and the surgeries I've had. I can help advocate for other people with NF1PNs. And while each case is unique, we may have different circumstances, but they're kind of parallel. You know, I may have a different outlook or different things have happened to me than somebody else with NF1PN, but I can relate to them and help them through things by telling them that they're not alone.
And Dr. Herbie, what kind of treatments or care plans are available for people with NF1PN?
Yeah. So, historically, we were really limited to surgeries. And Austin's story kind of shows the problem with surgeries. Most of the time, you're not able to get the entire tumor out. And even when you can remove part of it, more than half of the time, these tumors grow back. In February of 2020, there was finally one medication that was approved for children with NF1 plexiform neurofibromas. And then excitingly, in February of this year, we had the first FDA-approved medication for both adults and children with NF1 plexiform neurofibromas. And that's a medication called Gomekli or mirdametinib. And the medication's been shown to shrink these tumors significantly and also reduce the pain that patients are having. Every medication comes with side effects. So the most common side effects with Gomekli are GI side effects. So things like nausea, sometimes vomiting, diarrhea more commonly, and then an acne-like rash.
And where can families go to find more info or support?
Yeah, so one thing, it's always important to talk to your physician because every patient is different, but you can find more information on gomekli.com. That's GOMEKLI.com. And then the Children's Tumor Foundation website is also a really amazing source of information and support resources for patients.
Thank you both for joining us today.
Of course, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Do you ever wonder what's really inside all of those old, dusty storage lockers? Is it trash? Is it treasure? Is it something worse? The hit 80 series Storage Wars is back with bigger lockers, bolder finds, and fiercer bidding. And one of the show's fan favorites is joining us to preview the new season. Brandi Passante is here, longtime buyer, savvy negotiator, and honestly, a Storage Wars icon. Let's welcome her to the show. Brandi, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Good morning.
All right, for folks that are haven't watched this for a while, what is new this season on Storage Wars?
We have an hour long this season, which, there's a lot more chance for us to, highlight, all the background stuff that we're doing and all the silly stuff, that you never get to see. So that's exciting. We also went to an estate sale this season. That was a lot of fun, especially for me because I won big. Dave Hester's back this season. That's not very exciting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. Season 16. So that's a little crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of a crazy big number for that. You guys have been around, what was it, 2020? No, 2010, right?
Yeah, we kind of started shooting in 2009, and yeah. So it aired, shortly after that.
So what is the biggest thrill for you when you're sizing up a locker? Is it the mystery, some of the potential profit, or maybe just beating Dave Hester?
I think more than anything, if I like a unit, it's the element of winning that, and it's also the potential to make money. At the end of the day, that's what I'm there for. And, it is always kind of fun. I do get to learn about, obscure items that I would have never known anything about. And, I found quite a few and unique items over the seasons, or over the years. And, sometimes I fail big and sometimes I win big, but, the longer I've done it, the less fails that there are. You just live and learn.
In over like 16 seasons of buying lockers, selling lockers, and chasing dollar bills, what is like some of the crazier? I guess everybody asks you this, but what are some of the crazy things, or some of the most memorable things, or some of the most like heartfelt things that you've found within these lockers?
You know, in the beginning, I would, they'd be like journals and things like that, and I would just kind of get wrapped up and read these things. And now I don't do that as much. It takes a lot of time out of it, and it's kind of a time waster. But I've also found, in before I even started the show, it was like one of my first units that I bought. There were these old photos. I mean, this is what I always kind of go back to. They were black and white photos from the 1800s, and they were of dead people. And it was, I guess, tradition to, capture their soul or something along those lines. And they kind of gave me the creeps. And I held on to them for, a minute, and I ended up throwing them out. And I found out later they were worth a lot of money, and I shouldn't have done that. But, it goes with anything in this business. You kind of have to live and learn, learn your lesson, do a little more research.
Not to give anybody advice on buying and selling lockers, but if anybody was interested in taking this up as a hobby or maybe small business, what are some of the first steps to that you would assume to give them as a suggestion, or say, don't do this, this is terrible, don't do this at all? What are your thoughts?
I would say don't do it, and that's what I kind of say as a rule. I mean, it's not an easy job. I know we make it look easy. But we've all been doing it a long time, it's backbreaking work. It's moving day every single day, it's cleaning out disgusting things, and sometimes it's full of dirt and dust and sometimes there's critters, and it's not easy. You have to find a place to store all of the things. You have to go to the dump to throw away the things that you can't sell, and then you have to find an outlet to sell the items that you are keeping. So it's a difficult job. It is not easy, and there are a lot of fails along the way. You don't always win.
Yeah, that's pretty much all my entire life right there. Brandi Passante, thanks for joining me this morning. You can check out the new season of Storage Wars at 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on A&E, and then they stream the episodes the very next day online. Brandi, thanks for hanging out with me this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And that's it for New Mexico Rising. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. If you actually want to be on the show, just email me. That's newmexicorising@gmail.com. And until next week, that was New Mexico Rising.